Hey guys, it is Arika Misha. Thank you guys so much for clicking on today's video. The topic, the ultimate betrayal. The ultimate betrayal. Let me read my notes. Per Google, betrayal. An act of deliberate disloyalty, violation of a person's trust. When God laid this topic on my spirit, I was like, God, I understand why you wanted me to talk about this. I'm sure we all have experienced betrayal in some form or another. I have shared a few betrayal stories here on my platform before. There's nothing like the ultimate betrayal. And I just read to you the definition of betrayal. We all know what betrayal means. And God was talking to me about this subject. I've talked about some betrayal issues that I've gone through on this channel before. I have shared so much on this channel. I am just thankful that it is all God that is telling me to share, that is humbling me to humble myself to share. Because, like, I'm telling you, it's nobody but God. Because if you know me, you know that I'm a very private person. I'm very to myself. I keep my business to myself. I stay out of other people's business. I try. Let's just keep it real. I keep my business to myself. I try to stay out of other people's business. Hey, because I'm not going to tell you my business. So don't tell me yours, because the way I see it, hey, you can tell me all your business, but I'm not sharing mine. So you know what? I don't even share it. Keep my business between me and God. So, the ultimate betrayal God laid in my spirit. The ultimate betrayal. And we all know ultimate. Ultimate is that ultimate betrayal. Like, it ain't no little stuff. It's that ultimate betrayal. Ultimate. And whatever that ultimate betrayal may mean to you, like I said, I have shared a lot of my betrayals on this channel. Yeah, God. All thanks to God. But I have shared some things that I have gone through on my channel here. You guys know, if you have been following me, watching my channels, I have shared some ultimate betrayal stories. I have shared stories, about my daughter's father, him leaving me while I was pregnant. After saying that, we were together, he was going to be there, all that stuff. The ultimate betrayal, my first time being pregnant, being left alone pregnant with my first child, not knowing how I was going to be a mother. I knew God was going to be with me, but just, it was scary, being that first time mother. So yeah, I talk about that ultimate betrayal. I talk about, being in another relationship where I was with someone and he had a whole nother relationship somewhere else. Ultimate betrayal. I've shared a lot. I've shared a lot here, guys, about the ultimate betrayal, and God wanted me to come and talk about it, because I just, experienced something, another ultimate betrayal, but God brought it to my spirit to come and talk about, he didn't want me to go into detail about my situation, but God did want me to share and talk about, the ultimate betrayal. And a lot of times, we go through things, when we trust someone, and like the definition said, an act of deliberate disloyalty, violation of a person's trust. The act of deliberate disloyalty. So that means you meant to do it. Yeah, you meant to do it. Didn't care. You did what you wanted to do. The ultimate betrayal. And when we experience betrayal and hurt and, somebody losing our trust, and breaking our trust, God is there for us. God is there for us. He's there to comfort us like no other. There is no comfort like the comfort of God. Nobody can comfort you like God. Nobody can do it but God. There's that world manly comfort, and then there's God's comfort. God's comfort is on a whole nother level. Whole nother level of comfort. No one can comfort you like God. And especially when we have experienced the ultimate betrayal, nobody can comfort us like God. Nobody can be there for us like God. God comes in so peacefully, so quietly, and he holds us, and he tells us that everything's gonna be all right. And he wipes our tears away. And he says, trust me, focus on me, not on the situation. God said, focus on me and not the situation. Focus on me and not the betrayal. Focus on me. And God comes in and he heals us. He heals the hurt and the pain. He doesn't want us to forget. He wants us to grow from it. You know, anytime we go through something, God's trying to teach us something. And a lot of times, people can betray us. You know, speaking and thinking about my own betrayal that I went through, a lot of times, you know, just thinking back to, you know, my betrayals, you know, God was saying to me that I was in a relationship, you know, and I was doing things out of the will of God, you know. We weren't married, you know, but we were together. And I was still, you know, doing things out of the will of God. So, and it wasn't something that God had blessed. We know when God has blessed our relationships or any situations that we're in. And of course, I knew we were together and we weren't married. And with me saying that I'm living for God, you know, I know that I'm supposed to be married. So I was out of the will of God, you know, and God was saying to me that you want me to bless something that's out of my will because y'all not married. And a lot of times we get in relationships, marriages, situationships, whatever you want to call it, whatever it is that you're in. A lot of times we find ourselves in situations, in relationships or whatever, friendships, whatever you want to call it. A lot of times we're in things that are not the will of God, that are totally out of God's will. And you know it's out of God's will. You know it's out of God's will. You know God is not pleased with it. Okay, so you know it's not of God's will, so you want God to bless something that he doesn't stand for. You want God to bless something that's against his commandments. Okay, I doubt that. But a lot of times I found myself in relationships that God didn't want me to be in. And God didn't want me with that person. So God came in. Since I wasn't strong enough to cut it off and to leave the person alone, God had to step in. God said, okay, I've given you time after time after time after time to cut this off. God said, but you won't do it. He said, so now I got to come in. And God said, now I got to come in. And then we look at it as the ultimate betrayal. We look at it as a betrayal. You betrayed me. You lied. Da, da, da. We look at it in whatever way we look at it. But it's really God coming in saying, okay, now I've tried to give you time to cut this off. I've tried to give you time to line up with my word. God said, okay, so let me come in. Let me do this so that you can know that's not something you need to be doing anyway. That's not something you need to be involved in anyway. To us, it's the ultimate betrayal. To us, we got our heart broke. To us, oh, they lied to us. To us, it's this, it's that. But it's to God. To God, it's getting you back in line with his will, with his word. That's what that is. And that's what I had to learn. That's what I had to learn. That it was God's will. That it's what God had wanted me to get back in line with him. He wanted me to get back in line. So God wanted that person to ultimately betray me so that I can get my behind back in line with God. Because of course y'all already know, once I got my heart broken, I got the ultimate betrayal. I went crying and whining to God. Oh God, he hurt me. Da, da, da. Went crying to God so that God can comfort me. But God told me to leave that alone. God told me to get away from that situation because it's not of God. Ben told me time after time after time after time. And I ignored him. I ignored God. I said, no, God, the flesh. The flesh is a mess. We have to die to our flesh daily. Every morning I wake up, we got to die to this flesh. Every morning you wake up, you got to die to this flesh, because it's a daily battle. It is a daily battle that we must win. We must win the battle every day. And with God, everything is possible. People say everything is possible with God. That's what God wanted me to come and talk about today. That's what God wanted me to come and talk about today. That's what God wanted me to come and talk about today, guys. The ultimate betrayal. Maybe it was orchestrated by God. God knows best. This is Arika Misha. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to go, guys, in the description box, click on that link to my second channel. Over there, I'm doing hair, makeup, nails, DIYs, grocery hauls, cooking. I do so much over there, guys. Couponing, showing you guys online deals. I do so much over there, guys. If you aren't into any of that, make sure you click on that link in the description box, guys. It will take you over to my second channel, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. God bless.